I think most people who have been around Suncrest know that we have a heart and a vision for starting new churches. And some of you might even know that we have a particular vision to impact 1 million people by the year 2034. That's our 40th anniversary. But if you're like me, whenever you hear the number 1 million, it probably causes one of two things. Either it causes your eyes to roll like, yeah, a million, whatever, Greg, big vision. Or it might cause your eyes to roll to the back of your head because we can't even get our mind around 1 million people. But I want you to know that our vision for impacting 1 million people through starting and reproducing new churches is just math, and we are ahead of pace. Next year, Suncrest will be 30 years old, and I want you to see how our vision for starting new churches has progressed. You know, in our first 10 years, we were small and poor. We didn't even have a building of our own for most of that time, but we still invested in starting 5 new churches. Over the next 10 years, we helped 15 more churches get started. And as we lead to our 30th anniversary in this 10-year window, we will have helped start more than 50 new churches for a total of more than 70 new churches. They are all over the country and all around the world, but that part of the story is only a small part of our impact. People ask me, where did this vision come from? And the truth is, it's rooted in a few things. The first is gratitude. When we were a new church 30 years ago, there were other churches that came around to be generous and give us guidance and all those things to help us flourish. And we just landed on a conviction then that we would do the same thing for other new churches. It is rooted in generosity. And you may know that 1 out of every $10 that's given to Suncrest, a full 10% of our offerings, are reinvested in helping new churches get started. It's rooted in giving guidance. We're not just about writing checks to these new churches. We want to provide leadership alongside their early days and make sure they feel encouraged and supported from the beginning. But ultimately, it's rooted in a God-sized vision. You know, some of our conviction at Suncrest is we don't want to do things that we could just do on our own. We want to do things that trust God and rely on Him, and He's been so faithful to this. So those 70 churches are just a small part of our vision because the vision isn't just about them. When we decide to invest in a new church leader, the heroes to us who are out there on the front lines of a faith-filled venture establishing something brand new, we look for leaders who are marked with a conviction to also be a church that starts new churches. So think about this. Those 70 churches that we've started have now started more than 700 other new churches. And those are just the ones we can count. I'm sure there's even more than that out there. And we see this multiplication happening again and again and again, even now approaching the 7th generation. Did you know that we started a church that has 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 started a church that is about to start the 7th generation church? It's just amazing to me. And it's through that effort that we see this progress to approaching 1 million people. So thanks for investing in this vision. You know, when we start these new churches, they're not just starting worship services. They're just like us. They're investing in the next generation so that teenagers have someone to walk with them and children have someone to help them know and learn about Jesus. They're caring for the needs in their communities. They're helping other new churches get started. You know, just like we say, change happens here, change happens there. So thank you for your generosity that fuels all of this, for your encouragement whenever you get the chance to interact with one of these new church leaders that visits Suncrest, and especially for pace setting. You're creating a church here with kids and teenagers and serving our community that those other churches need for inspiration and examples, and I'm grateful for your part in it.